Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. We're going to review Wheels now, which is a 124 foot Trinity. It was launched in 2002. Beautiful boat, great charter boat, so let's get stuck in. So on the front cover here we see the running shot, a couple of brief specs. Like I said, 124 foot, launched in 2002. Here we can see all of the other specifications. 26 foot beam. Now that's slightly beamier than the other two boats that we saw today. She has a 6'3" draft. That's also a bit shallower than the other two that we saw, which were 6'6". She is a great charter boat. That is partly due to the fact she has 5 staterooms. You can see that further down towards the bottom of those specs on the left hand side. The 5th cabin means that obviously you can sleep more people on the same size boat. Now that's pretty popular with charterers. The other bonus about that 5th cabin, with it being on the main deck, it almost acts as a second master cabin or VIP, so it gets rid of any sort of awkward situations when you have the two principal charter parties. There's always that conversation of who gets the master cabin, so we've covered that here. Semi-displacement hull, aluminium hull as well. She's ABS classification. We can see there the main engines are the MTU 2000s. She has a moderate cruising speed of 15 knots, maximum 18 knots. The asking price on this at the moment is $7,775,000 US dollars, which is a great asking price. When we start getting inside, you'll be able to see the actual volumes that are on this boat. It actually feels like a much larger boat than it is. So moving into the photographs now, on the right hand side there's a couple of shots of the main deck aft there. It's actually quite a big aft deck. You can't quite see it on these two photographs here. The photographs to come shows that a little bit better. Steps out of the back there leading down onto the swim platform. Some nice teak furniture going around the back table. Of course, this being a Trinity of that sort of age, she was built and launched in the New Orleans yard. Sorry. Of course, they have 2 yards now. They have the New Orleans and the Gulfport yard in Mississippi. This sort of quality of woodwork that you can see at the back there, and the those high top chairs around the bar that you can see in the lower photograph, that's very indicative of Trinity. They have a great millwork shop there in the New Orleans yard. Also on that bottom photograph you can see they have a drop-down television from the deck heads there, which is a nice little added feature. So going further into the photographs, on the left hand side you can see some more shots of the aft deck. Gives you a bit of a better feel for how roomy it is back there. On the bottom, on the right hand side, we move into the main salon. You can see the bar at the back there. You can just about see above the bar the big sort of dark area. That's actually a big TV that they have up there. The bar is new. That was added at some point throughout the boat's life. Originally there was just sort of a cards or a games table back there. The interior has been refit. A lot of the soft goods are new here, the carpets and the couches, etc. Some more shots of the main salon. The woodwork is, like I've said, fairly standard for for Trinity. They really know how to put some nice finishing touches onto their boats. You can see the details there in the coffers in the ceiling, or the alcoves as some people call them, in the ceiling. Has sort of a not quite minimalistic, it's more of a sort of progressive kind of feel to the inside. It's got some traditional touches here and there. You see on the bar at the top right hand corner they've used some nice marbles and granites throughout the boat. The bottom shot on the right hand side, you can see the raised pilot house. They've had bits and pieces of electronics here that have been replaced throughout the time of the boat as well. As I mentioned, she is a great charter boat. She gets frequent bookings throughout the year, and the maintenance on the boat has been sort of almost an open checkbook as well. She's been very well maintained, and you can see it in those shots. So moving down to the lower cabins, the lower deck here on the top on the left hand side, you can see the master cabin. It's a full beam master cabin, very nicely done. They have the his and hers bathroom, which is just aft of the bed. You can see that in the lower photograph on the left hand side, with the shower that's in the middle, which joins his and hers. Very nice fixtures and fittings. From here it looks like Cheryl Wagner product that they have there, which a lot of the Trinities even now still use. Beautiful shower and marble work again. The gold fittings throughout that shower make it real stand out, make it look very classy. The VIP cabin that is on the main deck that I spoke about, that's at the top on the right hand side, and that's its bathroom there below it. Very nice size cabin, and like I say, it's nice for the charter guests to have another option there. Moving down, we have the twin, and there are two queens on the boat as well that make up the 5 cabins. Beautiful woodwork, millwork around the cabins there. You can see they have different sort of veneer inlays in the doors, the nice translucent panels that sort of go between the cabin and the portholes there. You can see behind the bed, and that in that top left hand photograph. So now moving on to the exterior. This has a real open deck space on the sun deck. It feels huge when you're up there. I've been on board a few times. It's almost a party sort of atmosphere, very sociable feeling up there, and you can see on the top right the sort of bird's eye view of that deck. You can see it comes almost all the way back to the same point that the swim platform comes back. So they've really utilized all of the possible deck space that they can get. Have a jacuzzi up there, a wet bar with a beautiful varnished wood bar top to it, and plenty of seating and sunbathing areas here. The tenders and toys, you can see that on the bottom right there. That's the 18-foot Novarania and the two-man jet skis. And there you go. It shows all the toys in operation there. Very popular charter boat, like I've said before. You can see another feature there actually in the bimini top on the bottom left hand side. You can see the bimini top actually retracts and lets some sunlight in there as well. Now, this being the Wheels, there is another larger boat called Wheels as well. They were owned by or built by the same owner from Trinity. So it's a very experienced owner that's building this boat, and you can see that in a lot of the engineering spaces and the way that it's laid out. He's had a lot of input in here. So moving on to the layout, we'll start from the lower decks on the right hand side. See the very large master cabin, centrally located. It's the most stable point of the boat. We've talked about that before. Moving forwards on the port side is the twin, and then forwards of that again, port and starboard, are the two queens. And in fact, on the starboard side, just forward of the master, you can see the very large walk-in closets there. Plenty of hanging space. Aft of the engine room, you can see there's a nice sort of workshop area, the lazarette area, and there's also an engineer's cabin back there, which is great for being able to service all those areas when the boat's underway, and not having the need for the crew to walk through the boat when it's underway and there are guests on board to get back to the engine room. So very nice feature. They do that on a lot of the larger boats now as well. Moving up onto the main deck, the centered layout shot there, you walk through the large aft deck through into the main salon. You can see there actually the way it used to be laid out, just with the center sort of central card table at the back there in the middle of that area, which is now a bar. Moving forwards to the dining room, does have an open plan feel. It's not a formal dining room. Forwards of that grey area that you see in the middle there, that's actually the raised pilot house. That's why it's grey and it almost looks like a void. It's not. It's that funny sort of area in between the two decks, which is where the wheelhouse or the pilot house is, and that's why these boats are called a raised pilot house. Forwards of that, we have port side is the galley, and starboard side is that VIP cabin. Finally moving over to the left hand side, the last layout plan, you can see everything there that is on the sun deck, the jacuzzi, the wet bar, the seating area around the table, the forward seating area. In fact, if you look on the bow, there's another seating area up there as well, and once those at the back, once those tenders and jet skis are off, you have all that deck space there as well. So moving into some of the write-up, really this brochure just details everything room by room, so I won't dwell on it for too long. The aft deck there, it details everything that's on board. The Salon details the Murat's amplifiers and the DVD units that they have on board. The master stateroom, king size bed, his and hers bathroom. And if you'd like to receive this brochure, then just click on the request more info button and I'll send this off to you, and you can read through all of this in your own time. The galley is working down to the bottom on the right hand side. There's details of the fridges, the freezers, the KitchenAid, microwave ovens, a stainless steel hood and light. Details of the mechanical equipment here. I'll run through this briefly. The MTU 2000s are installed. Alpha Laval fuel purifying system, which is great to have on board. Saves a lot of your filter hours and filter changes. There's grey water, black water storage, and also clean lube oil storage. The generators on here, this is one of the areas that was replaced during the refit in 2007. So both of the generators are new, and the shore power system is new as well. So that shore power system can take sort of variable inputs on voltage and frequency, which means you can go backs and forwards to and from the Mediterranean. Some standard safety and firefighting equipment there. It details all of the equipment in the pilot house and the bridge here. You see along the left hand side. The wing stations details all the equipment there, and finally into the tenders and toys. So like I said, I'm not going to dwell on that. There's a lot of sort of individual bits and pieces of equipment listed there. It's far too much to go through in this short review. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to request the brochures, and we'll see you next time.